And I want to start out by thanking you all for coming and visiting my channel. This is going to be just a quick tutorial on how to make large paper flowers. We recently just did this for a wedding and the flower wall turned out amazing, and we used it for the photo booth backdrop. And going through the process, I just thought it would be easier to make templates. So you can find my templates on Etsy.com under my shop, The Classy Lady Shop. That's CLASSILADI shop, SHOP. So to get started, I'm just going to tell you what you need. You can start off by purchasing the cardstock. This is just a white 12 by 12 non-heavy duty cardstock. I just don't like the heavy duty. I prefer this because the weight of the paper is a lot better. It's sturdy enough, but it's not too heavy to where you can't do anything with it. You can purchase this from your local craft store. I purchased this pack today from Michaels. It was $5.99 and I had 40% off per pack, and it comes with about 25 sheets. If you have a Hobby Lobby by you, they're $4.99 for the same packages, 25 sheets. So, you know, you do the math. You will also need a pair of scissors, a glue gun, glue sticks, a pen or a pencil, and something round. I'm just using this candle holder I got from Bath and Body Works. And basically all we're going to do with this is use it to trace. So that being said, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, what I do is I take a piece of paper, an 8.5 by 11, which is your standard sheet of paper, and I basically trace a circle onto that. This is going to be your base for each one of your flowers. So I went ahead and cut one of those out. You're not going to see me do an entire flower, but what you will see me do is cut out the shapes. And this is not an exact science, so don't feel like this is something that you have to do to the T. It's all, let me tell you, we messed up so many times and it all came together beautifully. So you're going to start with your circle. And then what I've done is I've created 5 templates. So I know it's a little bit hard to see here, but this is our largest one, and you see the shape's just a little bit funky. This is not the exact template. Obviously, I can't do a 12 by 12 template online, but I'll show you what I did. So this is going to be your largest leaf. This is what's going to be actually glued to the base. Then we have your medium. This is the template I drew off of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And basically to get bigger, you just put this on your paper, on your 12 by 12 cardstock, and you just trace it bigger. And you could add in the little divots if you want to, so on and so forth. So that's what I'm calling number 2 template. Number 3 is just a smaller version of that. Number 4 is a smaller version of that. And I think you kind of get the gist of it. This is number 5, and this is number 6. I know I said 5. I think what I did was I counted one of them twice, but at any rate, this will be the part that's in the middle. So what you do once you cut your pieces of paper out, I'm going to tell you that creating a flower can take you anywhere from, I'm going to say 15 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on how much you've prepped. So when we first started out, it took us a little bit longer to get the flower built, but we got the swing of it. The trick to it is that you want to make sure that your flower has a larger top and a smaller, narrow base. So once you cut your base, I know it looks a little bit funky, but you will not be able to tell in your pictures. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut about 1 inch. And you're going to do that in each one of your flowers. So basically what you're wanting it to do is to fold over like that to stand. That's what we're going to do. So you just cut, and then you fold one side over the other, and what you'll do is glue right there and hold it down. But before we do that, what we do is we roll. Some videos will tell you to use a marker or something round, but I don't like it. I think it's easier to just roll it yourself. So you just roll it down like that. You will take your glue gun. Once it's hot and ready, you will put a little bit of hot glue. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm waiting on my glue to come out. That's a little strange. So you put a little bit of hot glue there. And then you will fold one side over the other. I like to fold the right side over the left. It literally doesn't matter. So you just fold it to where it's going to stay like that. And basically you're folding it so it can kind of stand on its own. So from there, you're going to take your circle base and you're going to take your hot glue gun. And then you're just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the flower. I roll my paper back so that way it can fold back like that. If for some reason you want to fold it to where it's going forward, you totally can. So what I do is I just take it and I glue it. Glue it to the base like so. So what will happen from this point on is you will take each flower petal, each of your large number ones flower petals, and you will just overlap them going around in a circle however many you like. I've done as many as 6. I've done as few as 4. Just remember when you're putting in the smaller petals that it will cover up those gaps in between. And that's basically all this is. Once you start doing it, you'll realize that you don't need as many flowers as you thought that you were going to need. I'm sorry, I'm just going to adhere this a little bit more. You don't need as many flowers, petals, different sizes as you thought you were going to need. Like, oh, I need to make sure I make 12 of the large ones. And you don't need that. Basically, you just go for what you know. And it all works out. So that's how that first looks. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to show you petal by petal how it's going to look. And just imagine it going all the way around. And you can also view my pictures on my site of a finished flower. So let's remember, sorry, this glue gun is just not cooperating with me. I should have just stuck to a basic glue gun. Okay, so that's all done. Move that out of the way. So basically what I'm going to do now is take the number 2 petal, which is the next size down. And as you go, you may see, oh, I need something a little bit smaller. If you want your flowers to have more layers, you totally can. But just remember to cut it about 1 inch up. Roll it a little bit. Unroll it. Take your glue gun. Put a little bit of glue. Fold it over. Same process. And what you're going to do is imagine that there are the same flowers all the way around, the same petals all the way around this base. You're going to basically catty corner. So if you can see how that is, you're basically going to catty corner the smaller petals. And all you're going to do is the same process over and over again. Glue it down. I'm going to catty corner this. Glue it down to the base. Got a little stuck. And there you go. So you see right now we have the 2 layers. So you can kind of start to imagine how it will look. And then from there, my apologies. I'll go ahead and do this one since I had 2 of these cut up. So cut about 1 inch up. Roll it down. Some people don't roll it, and we didn't roll some of ours, and the flowers come out gorgeous, even if you don't roll or if you mix and match. So glue one side, cross over, like so. Put a little bit more glue, and I'm running out of a glue stick. And we're going to catty corner it on the other side. So right now you see you have the 2 petals, 2 medium petals, and then the large petal in the back. And just remember that the large petals will be going all the way around. So let's add another glue stick. And I think it's good if you're doing a big wall. I think it's definitely good to get a few people to help you, because one person can cut, one person can roll, one person can glue, and one person can actually glue it to the board. So I think it's good the more people you have, the faster it'll be done. So we're going to go to the next size down, cut, roll. And that's the good thing about this paper. This is a non-heavy duty. You can't really see the ripples when you're rolling down. In the heavy duty paper, you can see the ripples from when you're rolling it, and no one wants to see that. So we're going to cross over. Now that that's done, we're going to glue the bottom so we can glue it to the base. And the base will be covered at this point, so don't worry about that. So you see, so basically right now we're working on half a flower. So you see the different layers, and you kind of can imagine how it's all going to come together. So then we have the next size down. Roll. And you may not have to go an inch up with the smaller pieces. Just kind of gauge it. I'm telling you, there's no way that you can mess up on this. The biggest issue I think that we had was making our bases of each petal too thick. You want to make it narrow. And you can even make small petals. This is making large roses. Some of them, actually, if you don't roll them, will come out to sort of looking like lilies. So you can make these whichever shape you want. And so then for the smallest little guy, it just really depends on how everything is. And just make sure that with your pencil, you have it to where your trace marks on the back side, because no one will see it, because they're basically going to be glued down like so. So just make sure you have it to where no one can see it. So with these little guys, I've done it where I've snipped and rolled just a little bit and stood it up. Or I've done it to where I've basically just taken the whole piece without cutting it and just kind of rolled it like that. Glued the bottom of it around and stuck it down in the middle, so it's sort of like the bud. But for all intents and purposes right now, we're just going to do the same way we've done it. You just got to make sure that's folded the right way. So there's that. And see, once you get the gist of it, you'll be like, oh, this was easy. And so basically now we have our half a flower. And you can kind of see how that's going to look. So thank you so much for watching the Classy Lady channel. Again, have as many friends as possible. The process will go by a lot faster. To download my templates and all of the directions, please visit my shop at Etsy.com at Classy Lady, CLASSILADI shop, SHOP. Thank you and have a good evening.